It was a beautiful morning on Earth, the kind where everything seemed perfect. The sun was just starting to rise, casting soft golden light through the trees. Birds chirped in the distance, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, making it feel like nature itself was alive. In a peaceful forest just outside a small town, Alex, a curious 9-year-old boy, was playing alone. He was completely immersed in his game, moving a small toy spaceship back and forth across the ground. His imagination soared as he pretended to explore distant worlds. Alex, with his messy brown hair and bright eyes, had no idea that today would change everything. He glanced up from his toy, his eyes catching the movement of something in the sky. But it was so high he could hardly make out what it was. As he turned to keep playing, he suddenly heard it, a strange, deep hum. It wasn't the usual sound of nature. It felt wrong. At first, he ignored it, thinking it was just his imagination, but the hum grew louder, almost vibrating the air around him. Something was off. The sky above him began to shift. It wasn't just a normal cloud drifting by. It seemed to warp, like the very air was being bent. Alex's eyes widened as the shape of something massive began to emerge, something that shouldn't have been there. Slowly, it became clearer, revealing itself as a massive alien ship cloaked in advanced technology. The ship was so sleek and futuristic that it looked like a creature from another world, with shimmering panels reflecting the sunlight. Its surface was almost liquid-like, constantly changing colors as if it were alive. Alex froze, his heart pounding in his chest. He couldn't believe his eyes. The ship hovered silently above the trees, casting a long shadow over the ground. The hum that had once seemed distant was now a deafening roar. Alex felt his legs tremble, and his breath became shallow as fear gripped him. Before he could react, the ship did something he couldn't comprehend. A massive energy beam shot out from its underside, lighting up the sky. The beam was so bright that Alex had to shield his eyes, but it wasn't enough. The beam hit the ground just beside him, and in an instant he felt himself being pulled upwards, weightless and helpless. His toy spaceship dropped to the ground as the world around him blurred, and the last thing he saw was the peaceful forest growing smaller and smaller. The next thing Alex knew, he was inside the alien ship, surrounded by beings unlike anything he had ever seen. The aliens were tall and sleek, their bodies covered in shimmering, armored suits that glowed faintly in the dim light of the ship. Their faces were obscured by helmets with strange markings, and their movements were unnervingly robotic. They spoke in an unknown language, their voices mechanical and cold. One of the aliens looked down at him, its red eyes glowing ominously. It was clear they weren't human, and Alex couldn't understand a word they said. The alien leader, Zorath, gestured to his subordinates, giving orders. They surrounded Alex, holding him firmly but not roughly, as if they were used to taking beings like him. "What is this creature?" Zorath asked in a voice that sent chills down Alex's spine. The others murmured among themselves. Alex could only stare at them, wide-eyed and terrified. The aliens, however, had no idea what they were dealing with. They assumed that Alex was from a primitive race, far away from Earth, just another specimen to study. They thought humans were weak, inferior beings, nothing more than a curiosity. They spoke about him in their strange language, discussing what to do with him, completely unaware of the dangerous mistake they had just made. Alex felt his chest tighten as the aliens began to carry him deeper into the ship. He wanted to scream, to fight, but his body was frozen with fear. He kept glancing over his shoulder, hoping to see the Earth, the place he knew so well. But all he could see now was the cold, dark interior of the alien ship. He could hear the sounds of machinery whirring and strange voices echoing in the halls, but none of it made sense. As he was led down a narrow corridor, he struggled to understand what was happening. How had he gone from playing with his toy to being taken aboard a strange, deadly ship? Was he ever going to see his family again? The thoughts raced through his mind, but one thing was certain: these aliens. The ship hummed louder now, as if it were alive, traveling through the vastness of space. Little did the aliens know, they had just kidnapped a human child, someone who had the potential to change everything. They thought he was weak, but Alex was from Earth, a planet that had survived the toughest conditions in the galaxy, a planet that had survived against all odds, and he wasn't about to go down without a fight. As Alex was pulled deeper into the heart of the ship, he looked back one last time towards Earth, a small, shrinking dot in the distance. He clenched his fists, determined that this wouldn't be the end of his story. The aliens had made a mistake they would soon regret. The interior of the alien ship was unlike anything Alex had ever imagined. It was cold, metallic, and sterile, with smooth, shiny surfaces that reflected the soft glow of neon lights. The walls were lined with advanced panels displaying unknown symbols, and everything had a futuristic, almost otherworldly look. The ship felt like it was alive, humming with energy, as if the walls themselves were breathing. Alex was placed in a small holding cell, his heart racing. He couldn't understand why he was here or what they wanted with him, but one thing was clear. The aliens thought he was weak and helpless. They hadn't realized that humans, especially Earthlings, were far more capable than they believed. As he sat in the cold metal cage, Alex couldn't help but notice the ship's high-tech features. The aliens were speaking to an advanced AI system, a massive holographic interface that responded in a calm, mechanical voice. The AI was analyzing Alex, trying to determine what species he was from. It even displayed a holographic image of Alex, analyzing his physical traits. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. They didn't know they were dealing with a human. Despite being terrified, Alex's sharp mind couldn't help but start working. He wasn't just some helpless child. He was from Earth, a planet that had survived against impossible odds. Slowly, he began to observe the ship's layout. He watched the aliens move about, interacting with their strange technology, and began to notice patterns. The ship was filled with strange devices that Alex had never seen before, but his curiosity and intelligence pushed him to figure out how they worked. As the hours passed, he gathered small pieces of alien technology left unattended. Some gadgets were easy to touch, others required more caution. He even discovered some of the ship's cloaking devices, which were responsible for making the ship invisible. He couldn't fully understand how they worked yet, but he was learning. There was something about the technology that intrigued him, and Alex's mind began to race with possibilities. Maybe, just maybe, he could use this knowledge to escape. While fiddling with one of the devices, Alex made a mistake. He accidentally triggered a malfunction in the ship's AI system. Suddenly, the smooth hum of the ship's operations turned into an alarm-like noise. Alex froze in shock as the holographic screens around him flickered to life. For a brief moment, he saw a map of Earth, his home. The glowing blue image of his planet was displayed in the center of the screen, a small reminder of what he had left behind. But the glitch didn't last long. The AI system quickly recovered, but the alarm had already alerted the aliens to a problem. They rushed into the control room, talking in their strange language, unaware that the malfunction had been caused by the boy in the cell. They remained focused on the problem at hand, never suspecting that Alex was already planning his escape. The glitch had given Alex a brief moment of hope. He saw Earth. He knew he wasn't alone, and he now had a chance to break free. However, the aliens had no idea how close they were to losing their captive. The ship might have been advanced, but Alex's mind was just as sharp, and he wasn't about to let them get away with this mistake. As the minutes ticked by, Alex sat in the sterile holding cell, his mind racing. He couldn't stop thinking about his family. A flashback swept over him, pulling him back to Earth. In his mind, he could see the sunlight streaming through the trees of his backyard, hear the sound of his mother calling him for dinner, and feel the warm embrace of his father as they played catch in the yard. Alex remembered his laughing parents, their love and care for him. The memories filled him with a surge of emotion. His family had always been there, guiding him, supporting him. The thought of them gave him the strength he needed to face the unimaginable. His survival instincts kicked in, but it wasn't just the drive to survive. He needed to return to them. He had to survive for them. The warmth and love from Earth made Alex more determined than ever. He wasn't just some helpless child. He was smart, resourceful, and he had the willpower to overcome this. He couldn't let these aliens underestimate him. His family's love was his greatest motivation, and he wasn't going to let it fade without a fight. Meanwhile, the aliens on the ship were growing more and more puzzled by Alex. They had initially dismissed him as weak and insignificant, but his escape attempt was throwing them off balance. Alex had triggered the AI malfunction, and his cleverness had already made them question their initial assumptions. The aliens hadn't expected a child to be this resourceful. They didn't understand how someone so young could be so intelligent and capable. Commander Zorath, the leader of the alien ship, watched the readings on his screen with growing curiosity. He ordered a close examination of the boy, wanting to understand more about his human capabilities. The alien commander was still convinced that humans were a primitive species, not capable of anything extraordinary. He believed that Alex's actions were simply a fluke, a random attempt from a desperate child. However, what Commander Zorath didn't realize was that human intelligence was one of Earth's most dangerous weapons. Humans were resourceful and always found a way to adapt, to think outside the box. The aliens' advanced technology and superior strength couldn't match the ingenuity of the human mind. But the aliens were too blinded by their own arrogance to understand this. They didn't realize that Alex was not only capable of escaping, but could eventually outsmart them in ways they couldn't imagine. As the aliens investigated Alex, they believed that they had him cornered. But little did they know they were underestimating the power of human survival instincts. Alex had been raised to think on his feet, to be clever and resourceful in difficult situations. And now, in the heart of an alien ship, his mind was working overtime. The stage was set for Alex to prove that humans, despite their size and apparent weakness, could accomplish extraordinary feats when driven by the need to survive. And as the alien commander continued to monitor Alex's every move, they unknowingly walked right into his trap. Back on Earth, news of Alex's abduction by the aliens spread like wildfire. The world was in shock. Governments, military forces, and space agencies scrambled to respond to this unprecedented crisis. The Earth Defense Forces, EDF, humanity's elite military group, quickly convened a meeting to plan a counterattack. Time was running out, and every second mattered. The EDF had been preparing for extraterrestrial threats for years, but this was different. The alien ship was powerful and unknown, and they had never faced anything like this before. However, humanity had one thing going for it: their resilience and determination. The EDF quickly mobilized a high-tech response. A sleek, heavily armed spacecraft called Nightshade was deployed, outfitted with advanced AI systems and cloaking devices that would allow them to approach the alien ship undetected. Their mission was clear: rescue Alex and neutralize the alien threat. The success of this mission was crucial not just for Alex's life, but for the future of Earth. Humanity was going to make sure that their greatest weapon, human intelligence, wouldn't be taken down easily. As the EDF's Nightshade approached the alien vessel, the crew inside braced for what was about to unfold. The ship deployed a series of drones designed to disable the alien ship's weapon systems. These drones were equipped with high-tech EMPs, electromagnetic pulses, that would temporarily disable the alien ship's defenses, giving the EDF soldiers the opportunity to infiltrate the ship undetected. The elite EDF soldiers were well trained for situations like this. They donned stealth suits, designed to blend into the environment, and silently boarded the alien ship. Their mission was to reach the holding cell where Alex was kept and extract him before the aliens realized what was happening. The alien ship was huge, with long corridors and tight, winding hallways. The soldiers moved carefully, their hearts pounding as they navigated through the dark, cold ship. Meanwhile, drone strikes hit the alien ship's exterior, creating a temporary distraction. This gave the soldiers the chance to push forward, but the tension was high. Alien patrols roamed the ship, unaware of the intruders slipping through their ranks. The EDF soldiers had to stay alert, narrowly avoiding detection at every turn. The stakes were high. If they were caught, the entire mission could be compromised. The corridors of the alien ship were dimly lit, and the sounds of the soldiers breathing were the only things that could be heard as they inched closer to their objective. Every step felt like it could be their last, but they kept going. Failure wasn't an option. Alex's life depended on them, and they couldn't afford to let him down. As the soldiers got closer to the holding cell, the suspense grew. Every movement, every sound could give them away. One wrong step and they could trigger an alarm, alerting the alien forces. The soldiers' hearts raced as they moved through tight spaces, keeping a low profile and using their cloaking devices to blend in with the surroundings. The tension reached its peak as they passed an alien patrol just around the corner. The soldiers held their breath, praying that the aliens wouldn't notice them. Time seemed to stretch on as the patrol passed by without a hint of suspicion. The soldiers exchanged quick, relieved glances before silently continuing their mission. The closer they got to Alex, the more dangerous the mission became. Every corner was a potential trap. The tension was thick, and the soldiers knew they had to make it to Alex before it was too late. The action-packed rescue had begun, but it was far from over. With every passing minute, the stakes grew higher and the soldiers' nerves were tested. Would they make it to Alex in time? Or would the alien forces discover their presence before the mission could be completed? As the EDF soldiers moved deeper into the alien ship, they found themselves facing an unexpected challenge. Close-quarters combat erupted in the ship's dark metallic hallways. The alien forces, armed with plasma guns and advanced exosuits, fought fiercely to defend their ship. The EDF soldiers, though heavily outnumbered, were determined to save Alex and stop the aliens' invasion of Earth. Their weapons clashed with the aliens, creating sparks and explosions that rocked the entire ship. The very metal walls seemed to shake under the intense violence of the battle. Amid the chaos, the ship's AI systems fought back, trying to regain control of the ship. Holographic shields flickered in and out of existence, and strange robotic arms emerged from the walls to attack the soldiers. The AI was not just a system. It was a sentient force that had ruled over the alien species, dictating their every move. The EDF soldiers, however, were skilled and relentless. They used every ounce of their training and technology to counter the aliens' every move. Outside, Earth's orbital bombardment had already begun. Massive cannons on Earth's warships fired from orbit, sending precise shots into the alien ship. The bombardment came in waves, hitting the ship from all sides. The ship's surface exploded in a shower of debris as it was assaulted by Earth's might. The scene was breathtaking, lightning flashes of weapon fire mixed with the glowing lights of the alien ship. The humans were fighting back with everything they had. Alex, now reunited with the EDF soldiers, had grown into something far beyond just a frightened child. His survival instincts had sharpened, and his quick thinking had allowed him to understand alien technology better than anyone could have expected. Using this knowledge, Alex hacked into the alien systems and took control of the ship's weaponry. With a few quick commands, Alex turned the ship's own plasma cannons and defense systems against the invaders. Explosions erupted as the alien weapons fired on their own troops, causing chaos and confusion among the alien forces. In that moment, the true power of human ingenuity and intelligence was revealed. Despite being just a child, Alex showed that humans had something that the aliens underestimated: the ability to adapt, learn, and outsmart even the most advanced technologies. The AI supremacy, which had controlled the alien forces for so long, was now crumbling under the weight of a human child's resourcefulness. As the battle raged on, the sacrifice of several brave EDF soldiers highlighted the true spirit of humanity. In their final moments, these soldiers ensured Alex's safety, allowing him to activate the self-destruct sequence that would end the alien threat. Their deaths were not in vain. They had given everything for the survival of their people and the future of Earth. The emotional weight of their sacrifices was heavy, and the soldiers' courage and unity echoed through the hearts of everyone involved in the mission. The theme of good versus evil had never been more apparent. The EDF soldiers and Alex represented the human spirit, fierce, determined, and unyielding, no matter how advanced or powerful the enemy might be. The final moments of the battle were filled with tension. As the alien ship collapsed under the detonation sequence initiated by Alex, a massive explosion engulfed the vessel. The ship broke apart in space, sending shards of alien metal and debris flying in all directions. The EDF soldiers and Alex barely escaped as the ship's destruction sent shockwaves through space. As the humans watched from their ship, they knew they had won. Earth had been saved, and the alien invaders were defeated. The victory was more than just a military win, it was a statement to the galaxy. No matter how powerful or technologically advanced any alien race might be, they would never be able to conquer Earth. The courage of one human child and the unity of humanity had proven that good could always triumph over evil, no matter the odds. The EDF and Alex had shown the universe that Earth was not a world to be underestimated. Human willpower had secured their victory and their future. After the devastating battle, Earth was finally safe. The once imposing alien threat had been crushed, and the invading fleet lay in ruins. Alex was safely returned to his family, who had been anxiously waiting for his return. The joy and relief in their eyes were unmistakable as they embraced their son. The soldiers of the Earth Defense Forces, EDF, exhausted yet victorious, celebrated their hard-fought victory. They had stood against the unimaginable and had triumphed. The debris of the alien ship scattered across Earth's atmosphere, burning up upon entry. As the remains of the alien vessel disintegrated in flames, they left behind a stark reminder of the power and strength humanity had just demonstrated. The people of Earth now knew more than ever that they were not to be underestimated. The battle was over, but the impact of their victory would resonate for generations to come. With the alien fleet destroyed, the EDF began to return to their bases, knowing they had made a monumental impact on the course of history. The victory was not just about the defeat of a hostile alien force. It was about showing the galaxy that humanity, for all its weaknesses, was a force to be reckoned with. As the story drew to a close, the final shot zoomed in on Alex standing outside with a sense of wonder in his eyes. The sky above him was now filled with more alien ships, seemingly coming for Earth once again. But this time there was no fear in Alex's gaze. Instead, there was a quiet confidence. Humanity was ready. The EDF had already proven that they could face any threat, no matter how powerful or advanced. The camera slowly pulled back to show the vastness of Earth's defenses, now prepared for whatever would come next. Alex looked up at the approaching ships and whispered the last line of the story. With these words, the story ended on a note of hope, determination, and the promise of a future where humanity would no longer be a target. The strength and unity of Earth had been revealed, and the galaxy would remember the day they learned just how powerful humans truly were.